The fierce battle, the Hyena Queen and the King of the Savannah. In the heart of Africa, the savannah stretched endlessly beneath the blazing sun, a golden sea of tall grasses swaying in the warm breeze. Among the acacia trees and rocky outcrops, life thrived, filled with the sounds of nature, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the distant calls of wild animals. This land was a paradise for many, but it was also a battleground for survival, where power and dominance dictated the rules of existence. At the center of this wild kingdom stood two formidable leaders, Zara, the cunning Hyena Queen, and Leo, the powerful Lion King. Zara was not just any hyena, she was a master strategist known for her intelligence and fierce loyalty to her clan. With sleek fur and sharp features, she commanded respect and fear among her followers. The hyenas revered her as their queen, and under her rule, they thrived, becoming a force to be reckoned with. On the other side of the savannah lay Leo's territory, where the majestic lions roamed. Leo, with his regal mane and piercing gaze, was the embodiment of strength and bravery. He ruled over his pride with a firm yet just paw, ensuring their safety and prosperity. The lions respected him not only for his power but also for his wisdom in navigating the harsh realities of the savannah. For years, the hyenas and lions coexisted in a delicate balance, each group claiming their territories while avoiding direct conflict. However, the savannah was unforgiving, and resources were dwindling. A harsh drought had settled over the land, forcing animals to compete for food and water. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, and both leaders knew that a confrontation was inevitable. One fateful afternoon, the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the savannah. Zara gathered her clan near the water hole, where they often met to discuss their plans and strategies. "Listen closely, my kin," she began, her voice steady and commanding. "We are facing a time of great challenge. The lions will not stand idle as we search for resources. We must prepare ourselves for what lies ahead." As the hyenas nodded in agreement, Leo held a similar meeting with his pride, emphasizing the importance of unity and strength in the face of adversity. "Our territory is under threat," he roared, his voice echoing through the air. "We must defend our home and show those hyenas that we will not back down." The stage was set for a fierce rivalry, one that would test the hearts and minds of both leaders. As the dry season continued, the tension between Zara and Leo grew, each determined to protect their own while vying for dominance in a world where only the strongest survived. Feel free to expand on each section, adding details, character development, and dialogue to reach your goal of 8,000 words. This outline provides a solid foundation for an engaging and dramatic story. Tell me more absolutely. Here's an expansion of the outlined sections of the fierce battle, the Hyena Queen and the King of the Savannah, which will help develop the story further. The gathering storm, 1,500 words. The drought had settled over the savannah like a thick blanket, suffocating the life that once thrived there. The sun beat down mercilessly, and the once lush grasses turned a dull brown, crackling underfoot. Pools of water that had sustained the animals began to recede, leaving only murky puddles behind. Zara, the Hyena Queen, stood atop a rocky outcrop, surveying her territory with a frown. "Look at the state of our land," she exclaimed to her clan gathered below. "We cannot rely on the old ways of hunting. The lions will not share what little water remains. We need to adapt, or we will perish." The hyenas, known for their cunning and resourcefulness, listened intently. Zara had always been a visionary leader, and her confidence inspired them. "We will use our numbers to our advantage," she continued. "We will scout the territory for hidden resources and find ways to outsmart Leo and his pride." Among the clan was Kiro, a young and ambitious hyena who looked up to Zara. "What if we infiltrate their territory?" Kira suggested, her eyes bright with excitement. "We could gather intelligence and perhaps even steal some food." Zara considered this idea, her mind racing with possibilities. "That's a bold plan, Kira, but we must be careful. The lions are not to be underestimated." The other hyenas nodded, murmuring in agreement. Meanwhile, Leo, the Lion King, was facing his own set of challenges. He watched as his pride struggled to find enough food and water. The once bustling pride was now quieter, with the young cubs growing restless and the older lions showing signs of fatigue. Leo gathered his pride beneath the shade of a large baobab tree, determination etched on his face. "My friends," he began, his voice strong and reassuring, We have faced difficult times before, and we have always emerged stronger. We must patrol our territory and defend our resources. The hyenas are becoming bolder, and we cannot let them encroach upon what is ours." The lions roared in agreement, their spirits lifted by Leo's words. He glanced at his loyal second-in-command, Raj, a robust lion with a sharp mind. "We need to keep a close eye on the waterhole. It is our lifeline." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow across the savannah, both leaders prepared their respective factions for what lay ahead. And the impending conflict loomed ever closer. The spark of conflict 1,000 words days passed, and the situation grew more dire. Zara's clan grew more desperate for food and water, and the hyenas began to venture closer to the lions' territory. One fateful afternoon, both factions found themselves at the same waterhole, a small oasis surrounded by a few scraggly trees. Zara arrived first, leading her clan to the waterhole. "Quickly, gather what you can," she commanded, her voice urgent. The hyenas rushed forward, lapping up the precious water, their eyes darting around for any sign of danger. Just then, Leo and his pride approached, their powerful forms silhouetted against the setting sun. The atmosphere shifted instantly, tension thickening in the air. Zara's heart raced as she met Leo's fierce gaze. "This is our territory, Zara. You know the rules," he growled, stepping forward. Zara stood her ground, her eyes narrowed defiantly. "Rules? You think I care about your rules when my clan is starving? This water belongs to everyone in the savannah." Leo's mane bristled, and he took another step closer, his presence intimidating. "You're pushing your luck, hyena. Leave now, and I'll let you go without further conflict." Zara scoffed, her voice dripping with disdain. "You underestimate me, Leo. I am the Hyena Queen, and I will not back down. If it's a fight you want, then it's a fight you'll get." With that, the tension reached a boiling point. The hyenas growled softly, rallying behind their queen, while Leo's pride stood firm, muscles tense and ready for action. "We don't need to fight," Leo said, trying to maintain peace, but Zara's resolve was unyielding. "Then let's settle this once and for all," Zara shouted, her voice echoing across the savannah. The challenge was clear, and both factions braced themselves for what was to come. The Hyena Queen's strategy 1,500 words back in her den, Zara convened her clan for an emergency meeting. The dim light of the moon illuminated the determined faces of her hyenas. "Today, we stood toe-to-toe with the Lion King," Zara began. "But we must be smarter if we are to win this war. Strength is not always about size, it's about strategy." The hyenas nodded, eager to learn from their queen's wisdom. Zara laid out her plan, her eyes sparkling with determination. "We will create distractions to confuse the lions. While they chase after us, we will sneak into their territory and take what we need." Kiro, always eager, raised her paw. "How will we distract them, Queen Zara?" Zara smiled, appreciating Kira's enthusiasm. "We will use our speed and agility. A few of us will draw their attention while the others gather food and water. We must work as a team." As the plan took shape, Zara's instincts sensed a shift in the dynamics of her clan. There was something off about a few members, particularly a hyena named Rex, who had been acting suspiciously. Zara decided to keep a close watch on him, and sure of where his loyalties lay. Meanwhile, Leo and his pride were also preparing for the inevitable conflict. Leo called a meeting, urging his lions to stay vigilant. "We need to fortify our defenses and patrol the territory more aggressively," he instructed. "The hyenas will not give up easily, and we must be ready to protect what is ours." Raj voiced his concern. "What if they try to attack our cubs? We can't let them get too close." Leo nodded, his expression serious. "We will ensure the safety of our young ones. We'll place the strongest lions as guards while the rest of us hunt and patrol." As the sun rose the next day, both factions were poised for battle, each leader convinced that they were fighting for their rightful place in the savannah.